So you're thinking about moving to Vista, California, and you want to know if this is the spot for you. Well, hopefully we're going to help you figure that out today. Hop into Vista, California here and let you know what this little city right in the central part of North County, San Diego is all about. Hop into a few different neighborhoods and show you kind of what kind of housing is there. At the end, we're going to go over a little bit of pricing in each different neighborhood, where you're going to be shopping, where you're going to be cruising to, what's near Vista. So as you're living there, what else can you access? And then also a lot of people who do focus on Vista do focus on a few other cities around there if you are thinking about buying a house. So we're going to hop into the Google map and show you all around, cut in some B-roll so you can see some boots on the ground as well. As always, thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Erickson with the Beach Life Group right here in North County, San Diego. And if you guys are thinking about buying a house out here, that is what we do. And be sure to subscribe because we're dropping new videos every single week. We have vlog style videos, we have these talking head, we have a lot of different styles to get you informed so you are super comfortable when you are ready to make that move out here. Don't hesitate to reach out. We got your back when moving here to North County, San Diego. Let's hop into that map. All right, so just to give you some context of where Vista is in the scheme of things, you're about 45 minutes from downtown San Diego. So if you've been out here, you've explored, you probably haven't been to Vista. Maybe you've been through, I have no idea. Maybe you're into the breweries or something, but Vista is not really a tourist destination. It is pretty quiet. There are some bunch of different neighborhoods, which we'll get into, and don't get it confused with Chula Vista down here to the south. You can see it's centrally located right here in the northern part of San Diego County. There is actually the city of Vista, which we have outlined here, and we'll hop into a few neighborhoods. I'll start in the southern portion here, which is actually the zip code 920801. There's a few different spots. So down here to the south is a bigger master plan community called Shadowridge. Now, if you're looking for kind of that cookie cutter, maybe that smaller footprint house with a smaller footprint yard, whereas when we get into North Vista, you'll see a little bit of difference up there. This is gonna be the spot for you. There is an HOA that you're part of as being in part of Shadowridge, which a lot of other parts of Vista do not have that. But Vista is kind of similar as San Marcos. So a lot of people who are looking the southern portion, kind of that Shadowridge area, are maybe looking the southern portion of San Marcos here, where the northern portion, which I'll get into the neighborhoods a little bit, it's just a different vibe. It's a little more rural up here. It's a little more dense over here. There's also a cool area kind of right off Mar Vista Drive that is a little bit more of that rural feel. You have like actual farms in here. So if you want to go bring the kids out and just go visit a farm, you can go check those out. I think Sand and Straw has a few activities throughout the year. And then kind of this northern section of Vista here, there's just a few different neighborhoods, some manufactured home neighborhoods, a little more spread out as well, which I'll go to the next neighborhood and show you the northern section, which is the next little neighborhood we'll hop into. We'll get into prices here too. The next little area of Vista is 92083. Kind of this northwestern section of Vista. It's a little sliver. It does include the downtown area of Vista. This section of Vista, kind of this Tri-City and this northern area of Vista, this is not really defined neighborhoods as kind of like northern San Marcos. You will find kind of the downtown central area of Vista, which we'll get into in the things to do. It's kind of a little older, a lot more dense as far as housing, like 1960s style housing. You will still find some random like big lots like sprinkled in between here. Kind of a lot of the same, a lot of those 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses. The next little section we'll hop into is 92084, the northeastern portion of Vista. You can see it's huge. I'll show you again when I bring up the Vista map real quick. Vista, the city of Vista, and then you have like all the stuff that we're going to cover in 92084, which is all the unincorporated area of Vista as well. And it does include one of my favorite neighborhoods, the Foothills of Vista, and also the Buena Creek area. So we'll start in the Buena Creek area of Vista. Right back here, this is a little area where you're gonna find some custom homes, a lot of super custom homes, a lot bigger lots, which I'll show you when we go to the prices and stuff. You can find some 5-acre lots out here with some big houses on there. So it's quiet back here. There's not any main roads, which a lot of this section of Vista is something to keep in mind. Like if you want a straight shot to the freeway, this is probably not the area. You're gonna be living on your property a lot. You're gonna have a lot of that outdoor entertainment. So you can just pop into this view here. It is on some sort of parts are on a hill. So back in here, and if you want like a view and stuff like that. And then also next little section, which I mentioned kind of surrounding this Bringle Terrace Park, is the Foothills of Vista. So Warmlands, Foothill Drive, all this section back here is a pretty sweet little spot too. It is, you're gonna find those older homes as well, but it's a good area if you want to get in at a more affordable price and then kind of build on down the line. So you have like a lot of 1/3 acre, 1/2 acre lots out there. There's also some newer neighborhoods randomly sprinkled in, not like master plan communities, but new construction communities, like smaller kind of subdivisions, if you will. So it's a good mix of different kind of homes. And then there's even some homes out in the hills here that have some really beautiful views. It's definitely that spread out rural feel as you kind of get back into these sections. And so, yeah, like I mentioned, a lot of areas don't have HOA in Vista. So you'll find a lot of different styles of houses, a lot of, let's say, kind of this little dense area of a Vista up here. There is no HOA. So your neighbor might have it painted a funky color. Maybe the yard is not cut. Once you get back here too, no HOAs or anything like that, and a little more spread out than the main section. So what about things to do here in Vista? Vista has been expanding quite a bit, all this downtown area in Vista. This is the old Main Street down here in Vista. You do have a newer section where you have the Wave Water Park. It's like a little tiny water park. Maybe your kids, if they're going to school anywhere around here, they might take like a field trip there. A lot of on this section of Vista down here, you're gonna find a lot of the bigger box stores, a lot of the chain restaurants. On this section of Vista where you see Main Street, you're gonna find a lot of local spots. Go grab some ice cream at Handel's. You have the Yellow Deli, which is a very popular spot to go get a sandwich. A different brewery over here, a little coffee shop right to the north here. If you're gonna go explore downtown Vista, all this has been built up over the last few years. And then this section going down Santa Fe as well, you will find a lot of newer apartments and whatnot as they continue to expand down in that section. To the north, one thing about Vista, you're not going to find a ton of parks, a ton of trails, where San Marcos is going to have a lot more trails. Carlsbad's going to have a lot more trails. Carlsbad is going to have a lot more parks, a lot of pocket parks and that kind of stuff. In Oceanside as well, Vista has maybe a few main parks. They're building a few more smaller kind of pocket style parks, if you will. This is Brangle Terrace Park right to the north. They do have like events throughout the year, like the Scottish games or something like that, but they also have 4th of July out here. They do have the little botanic gardens. There's a disc golf, basketball courts, tennis courts, all that kind of stuff. And then they do have the Moonlight Amphitheater as well right in here, which is a nice little venue for some local plays. They do have other events throughout the year. I know they just had some stuff going on, some light shows and a festival and whatnot going down for Christmas. So that is kind of one of the main parks. There's also one more in this section over to here right on the border. And there's a few pocket parks down here to the south. And one section that does have maybe a little bit of hiking is going to be this Buena Vista Park. You can see a few of the trails here. Even though there is a lot of hills and a lot of kind of open space surrounding the outskirts of Vista, there's not a ton of actual, maintained trails for you to cruise on. As far as like shopping, there's just a lot of little areas depending on where you're living. If you're in the Foothills area, you got your Albertsons, you have that's brand new Sprouts up there. Go to dinner at this kind of hidden little spot, Chow, up to the north in Vista. It's like you're driving down and it's just a random commercial building, it looks like, but it's this humongous restaurant. Been there a handful of times. It's really good. And there's, like I mentioned, the central part here of Vista. There's a few other little shopping areas and in and out down here. And then there's like a Home Depot down in this section here. There's also a few other spots in the southern section of Vista. You have a few local spots like Nucci's. Actually went in there a few weeks back, really cool people. So go check that out. But you have Albertsons and little shopping centers. So it's convenient down here just because you have like a main shopping center. Once you get to the Foothills, it's going to be a little bit more of a trek, which one thing about Vista is there's a lot of side roads. There are also 2 golf courses, but both of them are that country club style golf course where you do have to join the country club. You have Shadowridge right to the south here. So if you want to go join their membership and cruise around, other little golf course to the north edge of Vista is Vista Valley Country Club. So get a membership out there. You can get their sports club, get their golf membership, whatever it might be. But yeah, the 2 golf courses in Vista are going to be country club style. All right, so let's just give you the rundown. There's a wide range of home prices here in Vista. In that Buena Creek area, maybe 1.3, 1.5, you're gonna get a little bit bigger lot, a little bit bigger land. Like I mentioned, it's quieter back here, but you got your 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1 acre. So that's kind of like that style back here, a little bit bigger footprint home. This is a 5-acre lot back here, kind of in the rolling hills. If you want that peace and quiet, if you want that bigger kind of custom feeling house, Buena Creek is gonna be your jam. As you get back into the foothill section over here, you can see it's kind of a lot of that similar style, smaller ranch homes, and then those newer homes that I mentioned, kind of those newer-ish, smaller subdivisions. It's no master plan communities per se. And you're going to have, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, about a third of an acre or so, which is that standard back in this section. So if you want to have like a little garden on your house, you want to have a little bit of a chicken coop and get some eggs going, kind of this section of Vista is going to be your go-to. And then as you go to that central, you got the Tri-City area, and then that central Vista area, kind of like 550 to 7 is going to be your standard. A lot of these are super small footprints. So some are like 2 bedroom, 1 bath. This one's obviously 3 bedroom, 1 bath. That's kind of what you're going to get a lot of in here. Whereas, the Foothills, they are the smaller footprint houses, but you will have room to potentially add on kind of just south of the freeway. There's a few manufactured home communities. Like I mentioned, that Mar Vista, there's not really anything back here right now to show you, but you're probably looking in the 900 to $1 million because it's bigger plots of land back there, more rural. In that Shadowridge area, 3 bed, 2.5 bath. A lot of these houses back here are going to be smaller yards, smaller footprints. You can see the acreage on this one, it's pretty small. So that's kind of that standard for here, but 800, 850 kind of is what you're looking at as a baseline for the Shadowridge area here of Vista. So what's near Vista? If you're living there, what else are you going to be able to do? Like I said, there's not a ton of parks, so you could go down to Carlsbad for all the parks. You could hop up. There's a few areas of Oceanside. You have the Guacome Park up here. There's a little bit of camping up there. You could shoot to, if you don't want to join any of the country clubs for golf, you got Twin Oaks Golf Course here. There's Lake San Marcos, a few golf courses over there. It's actually a great spot for a little staycation as well. And then before we even get out of Vista, one thing I didn't even mention is the breweries in Vista. So we call it the Sycamore Corridor right here, where you do have a lot of breweries. Vista is probably the most well-known little spot here in North County for breweries. Obviously, all the cities besides Encinitas have a brewery or two, but this one has the biggest congregation of breweries right here. There's actually San Marcos, a brand new one, a year or so old, but really good there. Battle Mage, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons game theme. Booze Brothers making some good beer over there. Ebullition, they have live music and stuff over there. Pure Project, really good beer over there. There's really a lot of choices for those breweries right here. So if you want to shoot to the beach, a lot of spots in Vista, like if you're here in the back section, there's, like I said, it's all side roads. If you go to the 78, you're going to go in Vista Way, and you can either go south to Carlsbad or north to any of the Oceanside ones. If you want to go to kind of those downtown areas of Carlsbad Village, or downtown areas of Encinitas or Leucadia right here, you're looking a little bit longer. But if you got to go to the airport a lot, if you have to drive like down to the 56, if your job's down this way or kind of the central area of San Diego, it's going to be a little bit of a trek, either 78-15 freeway or the 5, depending on what the traffic situation is looking like. And a lot of people who are looking in Vista, like I mentioned, are also looking in either San Marcos or this eastern Carlsbad or kind of this central area of Oceanside as well. And so we can show you as much as we can here on these videos, but it's really good to get into these neighborhoods as you are planning a trip out, because what you see here is going to be different and a different feel as you're driving through these neighborhoods, and something you think is good here might be a little different in person. So we always recommend getting out there, boots on the ground, driving through these neighborhoods, maybe going down to downtown Vista, have some dinner, have some lunch, cruise around to different neighborhoods from there and see what one is going to work perfect for you. Because like I mentioned, we try to do our best here to get you dialed in, but it's very important to kind of find out what is actually going to work for you in person. And that's what we do. So if you are thinking about moving out here, just hit us up. All the information is below. We got your back when moving here to North County, San Diego.